Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Titans Season 2, Episode 8, titled Jericho. Obviously, Jericho, Slade Wilson's son. This is the episode that's basically all flashbacks, and this review is going to have spoilers as usual for my reviews of these Titans episodes. This episode, of course, gives us the actual backstory following the events of Episode 7, where Dick went to a suicidal Jason Todd and told him that he was responsible for killing Jericho, Slade Wilson's son, and they show you actually flashbacks in this episode of that relationship, how it came to be, and how the Titans were using him basically to get to Slade to find out information about his father, about Slade Wilson. And we actually get to see great things in this episode. We got to see more of Slade Wilson. We actually got to see his origin story actually, and which was really cool to see. And it was done by Hyde, and sort of like in the comic books, that version where he gets injected and stuff, and we actually see him in action and see him using his powers and stuff. So that was pretty cool to see. And S.A. Morales is really doing a great job as Jericho. Excuse me, not Jericho, as Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. He's really done a fantastic job. The writing for his character and his portrayal has been excellent so far. So perfect. Kudos to the actor and to the for the casting for selecting him for the part. Like I said, they show him with his son Jericho, and how Jericho's missing his father, how his father was away on missions mostly and stuff, and they actually show that, and how they were like a family. There's no Rose in this episode, which I thought they may show her or at least say something about her. So I'm assuming that Rose is older than Jericho. The reason I say that is because well, actually, well, it kind of makes sense that she was old, because else she would be around. So, and she's not around in this episode in the flashbacks at all. They don't even mention her, which I thought was kind of a mistake. They could have like threw a throwaway line in there saying that Rose is off in college, or she's off visiting friends or something, or just some excuse for her not being around. Because I thought they would clearly do that, because she's saying they don't. There's like no mention of her at all. So that's kind of, so I guess we'll see how that unfolds. Like I said, that she's the older sibling. I'm assuming that's what it is, and she was off on her own when Jericho was home. When Jericho was, having his issue, with the Titans and stuff, and coming involved in that. So again, this flashback is like 5 years ago, like right after the events of Aqualite getting killed, and the Titans are, befriending Jericho and he's hanging out with them at the beach and stuff, and they get him to open up and talk about his father and stuff, and how his father was, always away, and stuff, and never there, missing birthdays and all that stuff. But how his father tried to, it kind of humanizes Slade Wilson's character, because you see him trying to get close with his son and stuff. But he has these powers, and he's doing these missions. He's assassin. He kind of lies. Well, he lies and tells him that he's like an insurance something a salesman, and he has to be away a lot of the time. But of course, he's actually a paid assassin, and we actually get to see him interacting with Wintergreen, the guy who arranges all these missions for him. And also, we see the Titans are actually struggling. At least, not Donna, Dawn is kind of being sort of like a conscience to Dick. She's saying, listen, she doesn't like using Jericho now that we get to know him, and she's feeling bad about them using her, and she kind of tells Dick we should really tell them the truth and all that stuff. And but you see, one person really, Donna, she doesn't. She's still she's still pissed about Slade Wilson killing Aqualite. So she said, listen, she's basically saying, let's keep using the kid until we get what we need. And of course, Hank he's feeling bad too about it, and doesn't really want to do it. And Dick kind of acquiesces to Don, and decides to come clean with him and tell him the truth about what. And he actually shows them who they are, the Titans uniforms and everything. And you see Jericho, the actor, kudos to the actor. I think his name's I forgot his name, but he is really good. Because like I said, he's doing the sign language and stuff, so he's really expressive with his face and his movements and stuff. And you can tell he's excited to to actually meet to be around the Titans. That he wants to still be friends with them. But like I said, and I was surprised they actually had him come clean, and they actually came clean with him and told him who they were and why they wanted to get in contact with his father and all this stuff. And you also see, like I said, Wintergreen tells Deathstroke that, you see, the Titans are befriending your son, and you got to, put a stop to, because they're befriending. And of course, Slade Wilson is not having it. He's not having it. And we also get to see Jillian, who was actually at the airport, she was the, I guess, the watcher of Donna before that we saw in the Aqualad episode. She actually calls Donna over and tells Donna, listen, I was the target. We have our ways. I make a lot of enemies and stuff. And you see she has like these 4 bodyguards that are hanging outside. She said, I was the target. Okay, it wasn't your friend. And they actually show that Aqualad actually stepped in front of the bullet that was meant for her, Jillian. And she had kind of apologizes to Donna. But again, Donna is focused. She really wants to nail Deathstroke. And like I said, Jericho actually, he actually wants to help, the Titans and stuff. But like I said, they don't want to use him, which I thought was a really nice thing to actually see them, that Dick actually, he feels bad about it. And Dawn is being sort of his conscience and telling him that, so we got to be honest. And Dick is saying, he's saying, yeah, well, we do. And then he actually he moves out from his mother when he finds out all the stuff about Slade Wilson. He tells his mother, "You lied to me about who my dad was, and that he's really an assassin and all this stuff." And he basically, walks away from his mother and moves in with the Titans. And you see, his mother goes to Slade Wilson and meets him in the park and says, "Listen, I want him back. Okay, you gotta straighten this out and get him away from those friends, and I want him to come back. And then you walk away from us and you leave us, basically tell us." And he agrees, he basically agrees to that. But the next part of this episode is like just kick-ass. We see Donna get a call from Julian, a message saying that, to come over. And she goes over there and she basically sees Jillian and all her 4 bodyguards murdered on the floor. Deathstroke just went through them and murdered them. And of course, Donna's there, and she actually gets into a physical fight, which I've been kind of wanting to see her character fight. And she gets into a physical fight with Deathstroke, but he is, like I said, he is unmatched, and he brutalizes her, but he keeps her alive long enough, so she can send a message. and after he takes off, and she sends she presses her alert button, and Dick sees, the alert button goes off, and he goes to and he goes with Don and Hank, and they see that, Donna is hurt, and he tells them to stay with them, stay with her, and get her help. And he goes off. And earlier, Jericho got a message from his father saying that he wanted to meet him and, actually tell him the truth. Okay, and Dick, when Dick is going to find out about that, he tells him, "Listen, we won't get involved. You go meet your father. Okay, you should hear the truth from your father." And he goes off. But once this attack on Donna happens, Dick knows that he's going to meet his father, and he goes there, tracks Jericho down to there, and that's when they have this, Jericho, like, he's like in the middle, and Dick is trying to explain to him that, listen, your father hurt Donna, and he's killed other people, and this is it. And he's dressed in his Robin suit, and of course, Slade Wilson he's just cold and just saying, listen, you try to steal my son, and the Titans are a joke and all. He's basically bad mouthing him, and he said, and he basically tells his son, step aside, and you're really gonna see what happens to these false heroes, okay? And they have a nice brutal fight in the church, and first it's a back and forth, but then Slade Wilson gets the better of it. He kind of brutalizes just like he did Dick, and he has Dick down, and he's getting ready to give him the killing stroke when Jericho jumps in front of the sword and he gets stabbed by Slade Wilson. Now they cut it off right after that, which I thought was kind of bogus, or maybe maybe we'll see that in the bonus scene, because the next thing we see, we don't even get to see Slade Wilson like holding his son, or regretting it, or even making a threat to Dick, if you form the Titans again, I'm coming back, or none of that. We don't even see any of that. The next scene we see is, Dick in the Titans Tower. Everything is covered up, and Don and Hank are, they walk away and leave. And then Donna basically tells him, "Listen, I'm going to be in New York. If you need a place to crash, Okay, and so she goes off too. So that's how the episode ends with the Titans disbanded. But this episode was fantastic because we got to see Esme Morales as Deathstroke and see how his origin. We got to see more of his interacting with his son, with his wife, with Wintergreen. We got him, that great kick-ass fight he had with Donna, and the fight he had with Robin in the church, which both fights were brutal and just intense, and just showed you what a complete badass Slade Wilson is, the Deathstroke. Those are great moments, and this again was an excellent episode. And I'm looking forward to the next episode, which I think is supposed to be uh, hopefully Gar, but I think it's called Atonement or something like that, or Absolution, something like that. I forgot the name of it, but that's supposed to be the next episode, which I'm looking forward to because I think what's going to have to happen. Well, this is just my prediction. Okay, what's going to have to happen is we're going to see Dick take on the Nightwing persona, and to just defeat Deathstroke, we're going to need all of the Titans working as one to beat him because he individually he's absolutely brutal. We saw him fight Starfire and hold his own pretty much with her. We saw him just beat down Donna. Saw him beat down Dick. So, and I think I'm assuming that's it. Donna and Starfire are the most trained out of the Titans, and so and Robin too, I guess, to an extent too. So if he can brutalize them, or he didn't really brutalize Corey, but if he can brutalize those two, who let's face it, they've been trained by the best, Wonder Woman and Batman, and if he can, eat with his enhanced abilities, just makes it like he has the advantage, and so I think it's going to take all of them working together to beat them, and I include Connor in that too. I think they're going to need him, Gar. They're going to need all the Titans working as one to take Slade Wilson down, and I think they will. That's just my prediction. But I think they all have to come together. Now, the wild card to me could be the character of Rose, because again, they didn't explain. Well, I'm assuming she's the older sibling, and maybe she was away from home when Jericho got killed and stuff, and maybe her mother calls her back, and maybe they'll show that in the future episode and tells her what happened. And I just think, but we don't know if she's working with her father, if maybe to the Little Titans in, but you never know. They could be doing the whole terror thing with her being the inside mole and then betraying the Titans. You never know how that's going to play out. But again, she could be the wild card in that. But like I said, I think it's going to take all the Titans, including Superboy, Raven, Starfire, all of them, to take down Deathstroke. And I think that would be cool that would be cool because I saw a picture, and this is again my speculation of a picture of him, Nightwing, and I think Superboy and Starfire, I think, and a couple other Titans together. And I think maybe that's when they have a big confrontation and stuff, and they defeat Deathstroke. But anyway, let me know what you think of Titans Season 2, Episode 8, titled Jericho. I thought it was fantastic. And again, we get another nice portrayal of a character that I kind of wish his character didn't die, Jericho, because that, his character, he was a nice, likable character, and the actor did a great job. And like I said before, I don't know if I mentioned it before. There was a scene in the episode which kind of explains why Jericho can't speak, and it's like the comics. These people break into his house and kind of hold his mother hostage until Slade Wilson comes home. And when Slade's taking care of them, his son gets his throat cut accidentally, not accidentally, but by one of the assassins, and that's how he loses his voice. And so that was just like in the comics that happened. And so it would have been nice to see Jericho still around, but unfortunately his character died and stuff. So, and like I said, it's unfortunate, but you still get this rich character, and I really truly enjoyed it. Anyway, let me know what you think of Season 2, Titans Season 2, Episode 8, Jericho. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel called Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.